Welcome back, my loves, to another episode of the Reclamation. I am Paula Collins, your Magdalene Sound Priestess and your spirituality mentor. Today, we're diving deep into a project. Okay, it is a project when you think about it, but it's also a topic that I think touches us all, and that's courage. Courage in the face of doubt. So often we wait until we feel fearless to move forward. But what if courage was never about the absence of fear? What if true courage is about moving with fear in hand, heart open, and trusting yourself anyway? Before I really dive in, I want to talk about the difference between fearlessness and true courage. So, fearlessness implies that you don't feel any fear at all. But the truth is, we're human. Fear is part of our wiring. In fact, it helps to keep us safe. True courage isn't about eliminating fear, it's about showing up. It's about speaking your truth and taking aligned action while fear whispers in your ear. Fearlessness says, I'm not afraid. True courage says, I'm afraid and I choose to move forward anyway. And that choice, that's the birthplace of transformation, isn't it? And do you feel the difference between those two? Fearlessness saying, I'm not afraid, I have no fear at all. And true courage saying, I'm afraid, but I choose to move forward anyway. Let me tell you, this is something that has been a part of my life in the past, more on than off. But now it's more off than on. And it's because of how I came to understand the difference between those two. I used to say, I'm fearless, when inside I was shaking like a leaf, about to throw up and turn pale and turn and go the other direction. Because I didn't want anybody to see that part of me that was afraid. And it's because of things that have happened in my past that told me that showing any kind of fear is a weakness, and that's only going to get you in trouble. It's going to make people come at you even more. And while that may be true, and there may be people who see your fear and come at you, in all likelihood, it's not. It's just a story that is in our mind that keeps telling us, don't do it. You don't want to go through that again, right? It's the sound of our ego. And it's only there to protect us. But when you live from a place of fear without any forward movement, you're paralyzed. And if you say, I'm not afraid, that doesn't bother me, even when you're shaking inside, you're kind of lying to yourself at the same way. And I believe that it is always the right thing to do to acknowledge our fear. The first time I thought about making a podcast and actually publishing it for everybody to hear, I was so afraid. I had so much fear inside of me, and all of the what ifs came up. What if nobody listens? What if nobody likes it? What if it fails? What if I can't do this? What if I sound stupid? All of those things come up, right? But here's the thing. I acknowledged my fear and I said, you know what? I'm going to try it once and see how that feels. And then the next week, I tried it again to see how that felt. I didn't deny my fear. I showed up afraid. I just made the choice to move forward. So now when I come on here, I don't have all of those little things going on in my head. And that becomes the place for transformation. It's like the first time that I went live on social media, I was so afraid of showing my face and speaking the words of what was going to happen, and it kept me paralyzed. But I said, you know what? I'm afraid, but I'm going to try this anyway, and I'm going to see how that goes. And so I did it. I made the decision to start doing it. And I challenged myself to go live on social media every day for 30 days because I knew I needed to do that. And no matter how I was feeling, I made sure that I was showing up even when I was afraid because I wanted to feel that transformation. So now when fear comes up, I say, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to choose to move forward anyway. I don't come at it with, I'm not afraid, because if I try to come at something with the fearlessness side of it, I'm not afraid even when I'm shaking in my boots, it comes out in my voice. It comes out in my facial expressions. I say, all the time. And instead, when I acknowledge it and I light my candle, everything moves so much more smoothly for me. So let's take this to something that really lights me up and makes me happy and makes my heart flutter. And that's divine feminine. And when you couple divine feminine with courage, it looks different because it's rooted in softness, it's rooted in vulnerability, it's rooted in authenticity, and it's allowing yourself to be seen. Whereas when I don't come at it from that way and I try the fearlessness approach, then it is force. I am battling with myself and I don't feel as soft. And divine feminine courage allows us to cry when our heart aches. It's the courage to open up your arms and receive help. It's the courage to say no, to honor your boundaries. And it's the courage to keep showing up for your purpose, even when you doubt yourself. Because this courage is gentle yet powerful. It doesn't push or force, it flows, it nurtures, and it holds steady like the river carving through stone. And when we think about it, when we want to do something that scares the heebie-jeebies out of us, makes us feel nauseous, makes us want to throw up, makes us want to run and hide, makes us want to give up and just go into this paralysis or curl up into a ball, when we do it with and we call upon the divine feminine to come in and allow our courage to flow, it changes every part of what we're doing. It really does. And when we can show up from this place of softness, when we can show up from this place of vulnerability and authenticity, then we are able to connect with more people. And we are able to bring and call in our people to us. Think about that for a minute. I don't know if you're like me, but for so many years, I wanted girlfriends. I just wanted a group of women that I could be around and have fun, who were like-minded, but I was afraid to do that because of my past. And when I tried to do it with this I'm not afraid, I'm fearless. It never worked out. And those were the times when I became more clingy in my relationships. Those are the times that I felt like I needed to keep doing things to be seen. I felt like I had to make sure that whatever the need was, I was there. And I was the first person to show up. And I do enjoy being first because it's in me to be early. That's part of how I was raised, was to be early. My kids always joke, 10 minutes early is okay, Mom. You don't have to be a half hour early. But I would show up early to events and make myself helpful because I wanted to show I was being a good friend. See, because I went at it with, I'm not afraid to do this, I'm fearless. When in all truthfulness and authenticity, I was afraid. I was doubting me. I was doubting who I was doubting what I had to offer in a relationship. And so it turned me into the people pleaser. And I know I've talked about this before. It turned me into the people pleaser. And that's not a good place to come from, because when you're a people pleaser, you have no boundaries. And boundaries are always important, aren't they? Boundaries stop us from becoming a doormat. Boundaries stop us from exhaustion and setting expectations. When we can come at something that we're doing and we do it out of the goodness of our heart and we don't do it with expectation, it changes everything. Because it's soft and it's not forced. It's the divine feminine coming in and saying, this is how you need to show up. So you might be wondering, well, Paula, I don't even know how to start cultivating this courageous action, this divine feminine courageous action that you're talking about. And I have a couple of practices that I love that you can use in your personal life. You can use it in your professional life, right? The first one is micro courage. And micro courage calls us to take one small step each day that stretches you. So it's sending that email, it's making the offer, it's setting a boundary, right? Or it's sending that text. It's one small step that stretches you. It's that text you send after you meet someone that says, hey, I really enjoyed that time with you. I would love to get together again for tea, for coffee, for lunch, whatever it is, for a walk in the park. Or it's, I've got this great idea. I need to share it with my community. The micro step is sending that email or going live on social media to talk about it. Then the second one is reframing doubt. Instead of letting the doubt stop you, see it as an invitation to deepen the trust in yourself. Let me say that again. Instead of letting the doubt stop you or paralyze you or second guess yourself or make you become small and turn inward and not do it, see it as an invitation to deepen trust in yourself. Say, you know what? It might not be perfect, but I'm going to share it anyway. I'm going to take that step forward, even though it might be messy. I'm going to launch that first podcast, even though it might not sound perfect. I'm going to go live on social media, even if I mess up and forget what I'm supposed to say. I'm going to do it anyway. When we begin to deepen trust in ourselves, the doubt has nowhere to go. So we are reframing it. The third one is anchor into your why you are doing something, right? When fear feels so loud, return to the reason you're here. Your purpose is stronger than your doubt. So why are you doing the thing you're doing? Why are you attempting to make a new friend? Why are you setting the boundary? Why are you trying a new hobby? What did you decide you needed in your life that encouraged you to seek something different out? See, when you know what your why is and you feel it so strongly in your heart, in your gut, and you go with that, your purpose is now behind what you want to do. And that gives you this beautiful strength to show up and do it. And the fourth one is self-compassion. And this is something that a lot of people have problems with. I know I was in that park, and there are moments when I fall back there, not gonna lie. Courage doesn't mean harshness. It means softening into love for yourself as you grow. Let me say that again. It means softening into love for yourself as you grow. And not berating yourself. Oh, I went live and I messed up and it sounded terrible. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. We might look at, maybe I should have scripted it out. Maybe I should have done a couple of runs with it just to try. Maybe I should have tried FaceTiming a friend to see how it felt to say these things. So we get rid of the harshness and we fall into the arms of self-compassion. Because remember, courage is a muscle. And the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. The first time you go to the gym and you lift weights, the next day you're hurting and your body's yelling at you and saying, why did you do that? But the more you go to the gym, the less achy you become. Because your muscles gain strength. You gain more muscle because you're practicing it. The first time I sat down to play my guitar, I was terrible. I was young, I was in third grade, but I was terrible. I could barely hold a string down. And I hit it, and I thought it was going to be beautiful, and it was a thud. But my parents encouraged me and said, just try it again. Just try it again. They didn't force me, they just encouraged me. And so I did the thing. I started practicing 15 minutes a day. Even though my guitar teacher said 30, I did 15 and I set a timer and I did it. And you know, by day 3 or 4, I wanted to go longer because I started to feel more confident. I started to realize that I could do it. Right? I gained more courage to keep going, knowing full well maybe I didn't know in third grade. But now when I learn something new on my guitar, or I learn a new song or something, I keep going, even if it doesn't sound good the first time. Because I know with practice, it'll get better. So if you have a moment, I would like you to close your eyes and take a deep breath into your heart center. And release it on a sigh. Take another deep breath into your heart center, into your solar plexus. Feel it filling up with air. And then exhale again on a sigh. Maybe place one hand over your heart and one over your solar plexus. And listen to this invocation to courage that I have for you. Beloved spirit of courage, I call you forth into this space. May your presence soften my fear, steady my heart, and remind me of my strength. Let my doubt become a doorway, and my trembling become a song of truth. May I walk not with force, but with tenderness and trust. For courage is not the absence of fear. It is love choosing to rise again. And so I rise, rooted in softness, guided by the divine within. Take a deep breath in again into this affirmation and exhale freely through your mouth. Take another deep breath in and feel those words being planted like little seeds into the fiber of who you are, and exhale freely. I have a short daily affirmation and I'll put it in the show notes. And it goes like this. I breathe in courage with every breath. I honor my fear, yet I choose to love. I rise in softness. I act with trust. I am guided by the divine within me. I am courageous. I don't know about you, but it just felt good to say it. So that affirmation will be in the show notes. And so, my beloveds, I want you to remember this. You don't need to wait for fear to disappear before you act. You are courageous every time you choose yourself, every time you choose love, every time you choose alignment, even in the face of doubt. Because your softness is your strength, your presence is your power. And every courageous step you take brings you closer to the fullness of who you were meant to be. I want to thank you for joining me here today. I hope that this episode nourished you and reminded you to have your own brave heart. And if you can think of somebody who really needs this message about turning doubt and fear into courage, about reframing those things, share the episode with them. It just might be the message that they need in this moment. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, and I'll see you here again. So thank you for joining me today. And I hope you are reminded of your own brave heart. Until next time, walk gently, love deeply, and most of all, trust your courage.